Hi and welcome to this Key Learning Initiative video. Today's topic is finance and we're doing an introduction to simple interest. Before we carry on, please remember to subscribe to my channel. Please remember to like and share, and also remember that any comments you have are very welcome. So please feel free to leave a comment, and if you do, I'll get back to you as soon as possible. But let's get going with simple interest. So, a definition. Simple interest is an interest calculated on the principal portion of the loan or the original contribution to a savings account. Alright, so it's the original amount. Okay? The amount of interest remains constant, and that is the fundamental thing. The interest in year 1, year 2, year 3, whenever, is always the same. Compound interest, it changes, but with simple interest, it's always the same. So let's have a look. Example 1. Jeff invests 1,500 Rand in a savings account, paying 10% simple interest per year. If the money is invested for 3 years, calculate, in the first one, the amount of interest Jeff earned, and secondly, the final amount in his account. So in other words, they want to know just how much money he made, and then finally they want to know how much is in the account, which is the starting amount, which is the 1,500 plus that interest. So let's look at how we do it. 1.1. We take our 1,500 Rand and we multiply it by our simple interest rate, which is 10%. So we're finding 10% of 1,500 or 1,500. You put that in your calculator and hopefully you get 150 Rand. Alright, so for 1 year he makes 150 Rand. Now, how many years did he invest it for? Well, he invested it for 3 years. So what we do is we take 150, we multiply by 3 because it was for 3 years. If he invested it for 10 years, it would be multiplied by 10. If he invested it for 20 years, it would be multiplied by 20. Okay, so 150 times 3 gives you 450 Rand. And that is the amount of interest that Jeff earned. Now let's look at 1.2. The final amount. So the final amount is my starting amount plus the interest. If you want to press pause and write that down, maybe that's a good idea. But your final amount is your starting amount plus the interest. So my starting amount is 1,500 bucks plus my interest, which is 450 Rand. Again, I put that in my calculator, or I do it in my head, and I get that equal to 1,950 Rand. And that's example 1. Let's look at example 2. Ngasa borrows 5,000 from the bank, charging 12.5% simple interest per year. If he pays the loan off in a once-off payment after 5 years, calculate the amount of interest Ngasa was charged and the total he would have to pay back. Alright, so we've got to work out the interest, and then once we've got the interest, our second part, or 2.2, we've got to work out the total amount. So let's have a look. 2.1. We take our 5,000, which is the amount that he borrowed, and we work out 12.5% of it. So we put that in our calculator and we get the answer 625 Rand. So every year that Ngasa takes this money from the bank earns 625, or he has to pay an extra 625 Rand. Now in the question it says 5 years. And so we take our 625 and we multiply it by 5 because it's 5 years. Again, we put that in our calculator, we press equals, and hopefully you'll get 3,125. And that's the amount of interest that Ncasa was charged. Now we want the total that he would have to pay back. In other words, the interest plus how much he borrowed. 2.2. The starting amount plus the interest. So in this question, our starting amount is the amount that Ncasa borrowed, which is 5,000, plus the interest, and we've just worked it out, is 3,125. Again, we can do it in our head or on our calculator, but hopefully whichever way we do it, we get that equal to 8,125 Rand. Example 3. Now this is not identical to the first two, but it highlights a very important point. So let's look. Lindy invests 2,000 Rand for 3 years in a simple interest account. She received 2,600 in a total payout. Calculate the amount of interest Lindy accrued. Now, if we look at this question closely, we're told that she starts off with 2,000 Rand in an account. At the end of the 3 years, it's 2,600 in total. And so, how much interest did she get over the 3 years? A lot of people can see it just in their heads, but let's look at a calculation. So she got a total payout of 2,600. Then we subtract how much she started with, which is 2,000. Now again, if we do that in our head or in our calculator, we hopefully get 600. So if Lindy invests 2,000 and gets 2,600 Rand back, the amount of interest she's earned is 600 Rand. I hope that makes sense. Then thank you for watching this Key Learning Initiative video on finance, and we're introducing simple interest. Please remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Remember to like and share the video, and any comments would be really appreciated. I hope you have found this video helpful.